What if I told you the fate of the Chiefs dynasty could hinge on a single player flying completely under the radar? The 2024 playoffs exposed a stunning revelation, one that could redefine the future of Kansas City football as we know it. Stick around until the very end, because this changes everything. Drop a W if you still believe the Chiefs are building a dynasty. Type L if you think their time has passed. And smash that subscribe button because what's coming next will blow your mind. The sting of postseason elimination still echoes through the halls of Arrowhead Stadium, a bitter reminder of how close they came. But buried beneath that disappointment lies a shimmering thread of hope, a breakthrough so significant it could reshape the Chiefs' entire trajectory. While many fans continue nursing heartbreak over a missed three-peat, those paying closer attention saw something remarkable unfolds, something that should have every member of Chiefs Kingdom sitting upright. Xavier Worthy. His name may not yet carry the iconic weight of Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce, but his rise in the most critical stretch of the 2024 campaign has positioned him as a potential cornerstone of a reawakened Kansas City offense. This isn't just about a promising rookie stringing together a few good games. This is about the emergence of a game-changer, a lightning bolt of speed and skill, who might just bring back the offensive electricity that once made Kansas City must-watch television. Since Tyreek Hill departed for Miami, the Chiefs have operated with a more methodical, possession-based approach. It worked, but it lacked the explosive vertical punch that once made them lethal from anywhere on the field. Worthy may be the key to restoring that lost magic. Just look at the numbers: 19 receptions, 287 yards, 3 touchdowns in just 3 playoff games. But expand the lens to his final 5 games, and the picture sharpens. 34 catches, 431 yards, 5 touchdowns. These aren't empty stats or gains. These are high-stakes performances under the brightest lights, when legends are made and dynasties are shaped. What makes Worthy's ascension even more electrifying is not just what he accomplished, but how he did it and what it says about the evolving identity of Kansas City's offense. His world-class speed, on full display at Texas, is finally translating to the NFL in a way that forces defensive coordinators to lose sleep. He stretches the field vertically, creating havoc and confusion in defensive schemes. The ripple effect of that speed is undeniable, and the timing, flawless. As the Chiefs prepare for 2025, they may be fielding their most complete offensive arsenal in years. Rashee Rice's anticipated return adds strength to the receiving corps. Travis Kelce remains the heartbeat of the offense, Mahomes' trusted outlet and red zone assassin. And Hollywood Brown, returning from early season setbacks, brought veteran savvy and surgical route running, giving Kansas City an all-new dimension. What Worthy brings isn't just acceleration, it's amplification. His presence alone alters coverages, opening up lanes for Rice, Brown, and Kelce. When defenses try to clamp down underneath, Worthy torches them over the top. When they shift their safeties deep to counter his threat, it creates real estate for intermediate plays. The result, a beautifully orchestrated offensive symphony. The chemistry developing between Mahomes and Worthy is nothing short of transformational. This isn't just quarterback-receiver timing, it's the rebirth of a signature connection, a dynamic that unlocks parts of Mahomes' game that have lain dormant since Tyreek Hill's departure. Worthy's ability to track deep balls, adjust mid-route, in sync with Mahomes' off-script brilliance, breathes new life into this offense. And no, this connection didn't materialize overnight. It was forged in fire through repetition, trust, and high-pressure moments where execution had to be flawless. And this isn't just about reviving the Chiefs' offensive identity, it's about reigniting a dynasty. In the early stages of the season, Xavier Worthy's journey was marked by expected growing pains. Adjusting to the blistering speed, tactical complexity, and sheer intensity of NFL competition posed a formidable challenge. At times, it seemed the learning curve might outpace the Chiefs' window for developing chemistry. But the coaching staff's calculated patience paired with Worthy's relentless commitment to mastering the finer details of his craft yielded dividends precisely when the spotlight was brightest. Worthy's playoff surge was about far more than raw statistics. It was about poise under pressure, execution in chaos. Rising against the game's elite in its most ruthless environment, postseason football is the crucible where true stars are forged. And for a rookie to not merely survive but that stage speaks volumes about both his natural gifts and his mental resilience. Looking ahead to 2025, the Kansas City Chiefs stand at a pivotal crossroads. With a generational quarterback in his prime, a battle-hardened defense capable of clutch stops, and a rapidly evolving offensive identity, the stage is set for another championship push. But what should have fans most electrified isn't just continuity, it's the explosive potential now brimming within. This revamped offensive unit, the return of key weapons from injury combined with Worthy's continued ascent, paints a picture of an offense more dynamic than any since Kansas City's Super Bowl glory days. The wide receiver room is deeper and more lethal than it's been in years. With Rashee Rice's consistency, Hollywood Brown's veteran savvy, Worthy's breakaway speed, and valuable contributions from rising role players like Jalen Royals. Then, there's the gravity of what could be Travis Kelce's final season. The future Hall of Famer's unparalleled chemistry with Mahomes, coupled with his burning desire to go out on top, adds emotional weight and strategic firepower to every snap. His understanding of the system and knack for finding seams in coverage could catalyze one last legendary run. Patrick Mahomes was sacked 6 times, a brutal indictment of a line that buckled when it mattered most. That collapse didn't just end their dream of a historic three-peat, it sent the front office back to the drawing board. Last season, the offensive line conceded 41 sacks, placing them 16th in the NFL. Not catastrophic, but far from championship caliber when your franchise rides on the shoulders of football's ultimate talisman. Mahomes is the lifeblood of this dynasty. Keeping him upright isn't a priority, it's a mandate. So the Chiefs didn't tiptoe into free agency. They plunged in headfirst. Their marquee splash, a 2-year $30 million packed with more. On paper, it looked ambitious. In reality, fans are already experiencing buyer's remorse. Drafted in the 5th round in 2021 by San Francisco, Moore spent 4 seasons as a reserve, logging just 12 starts as a swing tackle. His 2024 cameo 5 starts at left tackle sparked just enough optimism to lure Kansas City into overpaying. Whether they unearthed an overlooked gem or hastily patched a chronic issue, shelling out $30 million for a glorified backup raised eyebrows across the league. Then came the 2025 NFL Draft, where Kansas City doubled down by selecting Ohio State's Josh Simmons in the 1st round, their presumed long-term answer at left tackle. With Simmons recovering from a knee injury, Moore will man Mahomes' blindside to open the season. But once the rookie is cleared for action, Moore's starting gig and relevance could vanish overnight. If he falters, Moore could become the league's most expensive clipboard holder. His $11.2 million cap hit this season swells to $18.70 million in 2026. That's a steep tab for someone with just 5 quality starts on his resume. The contract offers an off-ramp. Cut him after 1 year, absorb $10.7 million in dead cap, and recoup $8 million. Not ideal, but far better than total disaster. The Chiefs rolled the dice that Moore's brief success hinted at hidden ups, a fluke. But if Simmons proves the real deal, Kansas City may pull the plug on Moore's deal much sooner than expected. In today's NFL, protecting your quarterback is the gold standard, and this gamble could unravel under the weight of expectation. While the offensive line situation stirs anxiety, the front office hedged their bets by bringing back a familiar playmaker, Marquise Hollywood Brown. Despite last season's painful finale, the Chiefs' roster remains largely intact. Their offseason strategy prioritized continuity over overhaul, and one reunion, in particular, raised eyebrows. Brown entered 2024 as one of the league's premier vertical threats, but a preseason shoulder injury sidelined him until December, prompting many to assume the team would move on. Instead, Kansas City reunited with the speedster on a $7 million D-land. That decision is already bearing fruit. Mahomes is rekindling the chemistry that once made this duo electric. When you've already built a rapport with someone, you don't need to ramp up. Mahomes shared at many Hollywood, Worthy, Rashid, Jujather, putting in the work. We revisit old plays, and that familiarity sharpens everything. It's the same rhythm Travis Kelce and I thrive on. The message is clear. Chemistry creates efficiency. Last season's air attack sputtered. Mahomes posted his lowest passing yards, 3,928, EPA 6.8, and TDs 26 since becoming a starter in 2018. Injuries to Brown and Rice disrupted timing, reps, and momentum. Now, with Brown healthy, that aerial engine is poised to roar back to life. In 2024, Brown was limited to just 9 receptions for 91 yards in the regular season and 5 more for 50 scoreless yards in the playoffs. Still, his career average of 11.6 yards per reception is a testament to the explosive threat he remains. He may not be Tyreek Hill, but Hollywood Brown still stretches defenses in ways that command attention. His vertical prowess opens the field for every weapon in Kansas City's arsenal and sets the stage for another relentless pursuit of the Lombardi Trophy. As a new season approaches, Brown's resurgence symbolizes the Chiefs' strategic balance, wagering on youth in the trenches while doubling down on proven firepower in the passing attack. If his comeback continues to energize the offense, Kansas City's road to redemption becomes more plausible by the day. But on the defensive side of the ball, sweeping changes have ignited fierce positional battles following a Super Bowl debacle. The front office knew that a mere tweak wouldn't suffice. 2025 demanded a full-scale recalibration. Consequently, both the offensive line and cornerback cores were radically revamped. While both units were exposed on the sport's grandest stage, the cornerback group was a lingering concern throughout 2024. To address the deficiency, Kansas City signed seasoned veteran Christian Fulton and invested in rookie Noel Williams via the draft. Those additions, however, displaced several 2024 contributors, forcing them into a high-stakes battle for survival. Among the most affected is former 7th-round pick, Nez Johnson. Following a muted showing during OTAs and minicamp, Johnson now teeters on the edge of the roster bubble as training camp nears. His tenure in red and gold is hanging by a thread. A vocal segment of Chiefs Kingdom would happily see Johnson shown the door, and the numbers support their stance. In 2024, Pro Football Focus graded him a paltry 51.2 in coverage. Opposing quarterbacks completed 60% of passes thrown in his direction, exposing weaknesses in both man and zone schemes. Confidence among fans has all but evaporated. Johnson enters camp locked in a three-way duel with Joshua Williams and Christian Roland Wallace for the CB6 slot. While Williams underwhelmed as well, his metrics were marginally better. Roland Wallace flashed some promise in limited snaps, but none of the trio distinguished themselves during spring workouts, leaving them deadlocked in mediocrity. Training, camp, and preseason will serve as the crucible. Whichever cornerback shines brightest may extend their career. Fail to impress, and Johnson's time in Kansas City could be over. Beyond internal battles and veteran reunions, trade chatter continues to buzz throughout the fanbase and league circles. With the offense still in the process of reclaiming its once feared dominance, why not swing big just one more time before camp begins? On the June 24th episode of Bleacher Report's NFL Daily Live, analyst Mitch Milani floated a compelling idea: Kyle Pitts to Kansas City. Milani suggested that Kansas City offer Atlanta a 4th and 6th round pick in exchange for the former top 5 selection, who's yet to live up to expectations. Y'all better strap in, because what I'm about to reveal is going to send shockwaves through the entire NFL universe. This ain't your run-of-the-mill locker room chatter. This is championship-tier drama that's got me fired up and locked in. Stay with me until the very end, because I'm dropping some cold, hard truth that every single Chiefs fan needs to hear. Drop a W in the comments if you still believe in the kingdom. Drop an L if you think the dynasty is slipping. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button while you're at it. Now listen closely, because what we've got brewing in the NFL right now has more plot twists than a primetime thriller. And I'm here to break it all down for you, step by jaw-dropping step. See, I've been around this league long enough to know when somebody's blowing smoke. And right now, Miami is lighting up the sky with delusional fireworks. There's a certain wide receiver down in South Beach who's been flapping his gums, like he's already got next year's Lombardi trophy sitting on his nightstand. Now don't get me wrong, confidence is essential in this league. You need swagger to survive. But there's a fine line between confidence and full-blown delusion. And after hearing what this dude had to say, I started wondering if too much. Florida sun is frying some brain cells. Let me remind y'all who we're talking about: the Kansas City Chiefs. Not just any football team, the reigning titans of the NFL. A dynasty built on excellence. 3 consecutive Super Bowl appearances. Back-to-back titles. A blueprint for sustained dominance. This empire wasn't built on hype, it was forged through brilliant drafting, tactical, free agency moves, and a championship culture that breeds winners. Since 2020, no team, let me repeat, nitrogen monoxide team has reached the mountaintop more consistently than Kansas City. While others flapped their jaws about greatness, the Chiefs were out there proving it, week after week. Players have come and gone. Cap space has tightened. Critics have chirped. Yet through it all, Kansas City kept stacking wins and raising banners. That's the dividing line in this league, the difference between pretenders and certified contenders. But apparently, some folks got amnesia when it comes to recognizing greatness. Now let's talk about this former Chiefs receiver, the one who used to catch passes from Patrick Mahomes and bask in the glow of championship culture. He knew what it felt like to be part of a machine that wins when the lights are brightest. And now, he's in Miami, chirping like the Dolphins are about to steamroll the AFC like it's 1972 all over again. Again, I respect belief. I respect grit. But belief without results, that's just noise. Let's not forget the Miami Dolphins haven't won a single playoff game since the year 2000. Let that marinate. That's before smartphones, before social media, before half the league was even born. While Kansas City's been hoarding Lombardi trophies like collector's items, Miami's been stockpiling heartbreaks and early off-season tea times. But none of that seems to matter when a podcast mic is hot and a platform's waiting. This guy boldly declared that the Dolphins are taking the AFC, not contending, not making a run. Taking it like the AFC is a clearance rack they can just scoop up at checkout. The nerve, the unfiltered audacity. You're telling me a franchise that hasn't sniffed playoff success in 2 decades is just gonna waltz through a conference that includes juggernauts like Kansas City, Baltimore, and Cincinnati? Please, that's not confidence, that's a fantasy. But wait, it gets even wilder. This same wideout had the gall to say his quarterback is the best in the league. Let me say that again. The best in the entire NFL. Now I've heard hot takes, but this one had me checking if I was watching a comedy sketch. We talking about the same QB who's never won a playoff game? The one with more concussion scares than playoff completions? The one quarterbacking a team that's made a habit of letting fans down when it counts? In the backfield, a fully healthy Isaiah Pacheco adds balance and bite. His violent running style and ability to rip off chunk plays force defenses to respect the ground game, opening up endless possibilities in the passing attack. And the emergence of Josh Simmons at left tackle finally shores up a long-standing vulnerability, Mahomes' blindside. With improved protection, the offense can operate with both freedom and precision. Credit must be given to the Chiefs' coaching staff. Instead of cramming Worthy into a rigid role, they adapted their schemes to accentuate his strengths. They let his talents speak as speed dictate coverage. His instincts create mismatches. That flexibility hasn't just unlocked Worthy, it's made the entire offense more unpredictable, more versatile, and more dangerous. It may very well be the key that reignites the Chiefs' offensive engine. Since Tyreek Hill's departure, Kansas City has searched for an identity and new spark to restore their signature explosiveness. Worthy might be that ignition point, the organization's willingness to foster chemistry over time, rather than chase instant results, has placed them in a position to dominate, not just for a season but for years to come. So, Chiefs Kingdom, what's your take on Worthy's potential to transform this offense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.